News Channel 3 starts off with breaking news right now.
They couldn't even talk him down long enough to get that out of his hand to find out if it was a real gun or a BB gun.
A follow-up to a rape investigation ends with the suspect dead in an officer-involved shooting. Hello, West Michigan. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kate Tillotson. This deadly officer-involved shooting happened just hours ago at an apartment building on Dutton and Burdick in downtown Kalamazoo. News Channel 3 had the first camera on scene. We have been staying on top of the developments on WWMT.com all night long. News Channel 3 anchor Andy Dominiani live outside of the apartment building right now. He is live with the latest. Andy.
Yeah, Kate, still a very active crime scene at the corner of Burdick and Dutton in downtown Kalamazoo, just a stone's throw from Bronson Hospital. A few hours ago, a very violent confrontation right here, a police-involved shooting on the front porch of that brick apartment building that you see behind the crime lab. Obviously, this area is still cordoned off as detectives are here taking pictures, taking measurements, taking stock of what has just happened. Here's what we can tell you. The shooting happened at 5:36 in the evening. Police say they were doing a follow-up investigation on a reported rape and kidnapping that happened earlier this week in the Westnedge Hill neighborhood. In that case, a woman claimed she was out walking near Fairview and University Avenues about 1 a.m. Wednesday when a man in a red pickup truck grabbed her, raped her, then dropped her back off. Police say the search for that man took them to this apartment building on Dutton tonight, where a confrontation at about 5:30 on the front porch led to that man being shot and killed by police officers. Once again, this happening at 5:30. Here it is after 10 o'clock. The crime lab is still here. We are told the suspect is still over there as well. Why they figure out exactly how this shooting happened, we are told he was armed with a gun when he came to the door. Our Aaron Baskerville continues our live team coverage now from a different vantage point on the same crime scene, having spoken one-on-one with the police chief a short time ago, and also, Aaron, the suspect's family. What did they tell you?
Andy, of course, still a lot of questions from the suspect's family. We caught up with them about a few hours ago, but just like you said, a very active scene. Let's get right to it. I think we're giving you a little bit of a different view. As you can see in between these two vehicles, you can see still a busy scene right inside that doorway. This is where it all went down. What I'm being told is about 5 or so officers showed up at this building that has several different apartments inside. They were looking to talk to this person of interest, the suspect. They knocked on his door, and what I'm being told is allegedly they greeted him, and he greeted him with a gun. He had a BB gun. That's what the family claims. Officers retreated, backed up off of that porch. A confrontation happened, and that's when the shots were fired and the suspect was killed. We're also told that that suspect was actually on the phone with one of his best friends. That best friend told the family that he heard officers say, drop the gun several times, and then he heard at least 5 gunshots.
Crime scene tape surrounds the area in the 100 block of Dutton in Kalamazoo. The chief tells News Channel 3 at least one officer fired his weapon, killing the suspect.
No, I don't.
We need to go in
We
need to go and talk to the
Investigators aren't telling us the suspect's name, but his family tells News Channel 3 the man shot and killed was 42-year-old Brad Mason. Police say the suspect had a gun when they knocked on his door this afternoon, following up on a rape investigation in Kalamazoo.
We believe, and I believe, that the individual displayed a weapon towards officers in a threatening manner, and the officers engaged them in with return gunfire.
No. That's not Brad.
He didn't own a gun?
No, not that I know of.
What are your feelings that they were looking at him as part of a rape investigation?
Nobody ever told me.
Yeah, Brad was...
This is the first I knew.
Detectives are trying to figure out how many officers fired their weapons and if the suspect fired his gun.
He was working all day yesterday. He works at LDS trucking company on I-94 and...
A key piece of evidence in the rape investigation was a red pickup truck. It's not exactly clear if that was spotted in the area today.
What kind of vehicle was he supposedly been driving?
Did Brad have a red pickup truck?
He has a...
He did? He had a red pickup truck? And you believe right now that the person that was shot and killed was that alleged rape suspect?
He was a person of interest in it. We have not been able to follow up on, obviously, the investigative leads that brought the detectives to that location. but obviously this person at least was a person of interest in that investigation.
As you can see, it looks like that right now they're bagging up some sort of evidence from this apartment building. The suspect's family and Brad's family told us that he had at least 2 different pickup trucks that was in his stable of cars. Also, what we're being told, like I said earlier, that the family claims that he had a BB gun. Police are telling us they strongly believe it was a handgun. Also, of course, Brad's best friend that was on the phone, that's how the family actually found out about the shooting. The best friend on the phone called family, notified them, and they rushed straight to the police department looking for answers. But once again, still a very active scene. Who knows how long it will be until we find out exactly what happened. Police say their investigation and an independent investigation will continue for the next few weeks or so. Like I said earlier, they're still trying to figure out how many officers fired their weapon and if that suspect actually fired their weapon. So, of course, still a lot of questions to be answered. We'll be out here for the next hour or so as the scene remains very active. Andy, let's send that back to you right now.
Aaron, thank you. As we continue our live team coverage from the scene of this police-involved shooting, we remind you this is not the first police-involved shooting in Chief Jeff Hadley's 5 years as Kalamazoo's top cop. Of course, we all remember back in April of 2011, Kalamazoo lost its first ever officer in the line of duty. Eric Zapata shot on Hayes Park Avenue on responding to a report of shots fired. The suspect, Leonard Statler, then turned the gun on himself, killing himself. A little over a year ago, in January of 2013, police shot and killed Jacob Grassley in the lobby of the Best Western Hotel on Portage Road. He was suspected of beating his wife earlier in the day. Police believed he was armed at the time. They would find out later he was not, but a prosecutor ruled that they were justified in that shooting. Back out here live, KDPS dealing with yet another police officer involved shooting. Having spoken to police tonight, I can tell you that the victim of the rape and kidnapping led them to this suspect. They say they credit her with getting a good description not only of her attacker, but of the pickup truck that he was driving. We can also tell you that there is a red pickup truck parked right behind this brick apartment building that may or may not be connected to the suspect. Once again, a police-involved shooting, a deadly shooting. The suspect in that rape and kidnapping in Westnedge Hill, now almost 3 days ago, believed to be the victim. Police are still here on the scene, and we'll stay out here tonight as well and bring you any new developments as they arise. For now, we're live in downtown Kalamazoo. Andy Dominiani, News Channel 3, live at 10 on the CW7. Kate, back to you.
Andy, thank you. And as Andy mentioned, our live team coverage of this deadly shooting will continue throughout the show. We will get back to Andy in just a few minutes. Right now, we want to turn the focus to our forecast, and more snow is on the way in West Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson is tracking it in Severe Weather Center 3. Keith?
Well, Kate, it looks like by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we'll probably start to see a little bit of light snow moving in. And in the meantime, it is just going to be very, very cold, like it is right now. Wind chills are, again, sub-zero. In fact, -12 in Kalamazoo, Three Rivers, and Coldwater. Battle Creek is leading the way right now with a wind chill of -14. All is quiet and clear on live Doppler radar on our 100-mile scan. You can see nothing happening. But again, tomorrow afternoon and evening, we'll see some snow building in here. It's going to be fairly light through Sunday. We can see 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. I'll have more on that weekend outlook coming up for you in just a bit. Kate?
All right, Keith, thank you. New tonight, a domestic dispute turns into a standoff with the police in Battle Creek. Police say it happened just hours ago in the 100 block of LaGrange Avenue. They say an argument between a husband and wife escalated and police were called. When police arrived, the husband barricaded himself inside the house with a gun. Police eventually arrested the husband on outstanding warrants. No one was injured. A developing news tonight in the shooting death of University of Michigan medical student. One of 3 suspects pleaded guilty today in the death of Paul DeWolf. Today, Shaquille Jones pled guilty to second-degree murder in a Washtenaw County courtroom. He says he and 2 other men, Joey Jordan and Dejon Franklin, broke into the Schoolcraft native's Ann Arbor apartment and shot him during a struggle. Police believe DeWolf was a victim of a botched robbery attempt. Tonight, we spoke to his parents and we asked how it feels to face those accused of their son's murder.
It was harder than I expected it to be, to know that he was the last person to see my son alive and that he was killed in his presence, and That was just difficult.
Shaquille Jones faces at least 18 years in prison. And tonight, a celebration of life ceremony in honor of a Michigan State University student shot and killed on campus last week. Middleville native Dominique DJ Nolf was praised for his skills on the court. So tonight, people in Nolf's hometown honored him at Thornapple Kellogg High School. They hosted a green out during tonight's basketball games, asking fans all to wear green. Also today, police in East Lansing are releasing new surveillance video, hoping it will lead them to the person who killed an MSU student last week. Investigators believe the surveillance cameras caught the suspect on camera entering and leaving Nolf's apartment. He enters very casually and calmly, but leaves in a hurry. If you recognize this person, please call East Lansing Police right away. A West Michigan cold case team solves a 24-year-old murder investigation. Grand Rapids police say that in May 1989, an intruder broke into Helen Tracy's home, sexually assaulted her, and killed her. Police say 60-year-old Michael Wayne Newkirk was Tracy's neighbor at the time of her murder and was a suspect, but they didn't have enough evidence to link him to the crime. Investigators interviewed him in 2013 while he was behind bars for breaking and entering, and that's when they say he confessed to killing the victim. This week, Newkirk pled guilty to second-degree murder and could spend life behind bars. After the break, we'll go straight out back to the scene of a deadly police-involved shooting with Andy Dominiani and Aaron Baskerville. Andy will bring you the very latest on the situation. Stay with us.
Hello, West Michigan. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of a police-involved shooting in downtown Kalamazoo a short time ago. I'm Andy Dominiani, live at the scene of this crime. It happened at 5:30. I shouldn't say crime. This police-involved shooting happened at 5:30 this evening at the corner of Burdick and Dutton. Police leading here, or being led here, after a woman claimed she was raped and kidnapped in the West Edge Hill neighborhood at 1 a.m. Wednesday. Her suspect description, her vehicle description, leading them to this house. And then about 5:30, a man came to the door, police say armed with a gun, and they opened fire, killing him. They are still on the scene investigating this shooting now. We've been talking with police, talking with neighbors. They are, of course, concerned about this, and it is not the first deadly crime to have happened here, not by a long shot, in this downtown neighborhood. In fact, just a few months ago, a man was found beaten almost to death in a dumpster 1 block from here, Francisco Velos Padilla. He would die days after that, and a man he met on the internet is now charged with his murder. Obviously, this second death in a very short period of time has neighbors concerned.
There's been so much crime and criminal activity around here. I don't know. I just kind of accept it, I guess. I don't know. The guy got beaten to death, somebody got robbed. I mean, you know, it happens all the time around here.
And we're back out live at the corner of Burdick and Dutton in downtown Kalamazoo by Bronson Hospital. Crime Lab is here. KDPS detectives are taking photographs of what has happened here. They do believe that they have shot and killed the suspect in the rape and abduction of a woman in West Edge Hill that happened Wednesday morning. In talking with police tonight, they emphasize the brutality of that crime. They say this was a very violent kidnapping and rape, and they credit the victim with leading them here tonight on the search for the suspect. Once again, we're live at the corner of Burdick and Dutton, an active crime scene now. Police have a couple of blocks in all directions cordoned off, so you'll want to avoid Burdick Street while they continue to investigate this officer-involved shooting. We are told the officer or officers involved will be likely placed on administrative leave. There's much more information to collect out here at the scene, and we'll bring you much more coming up a little bit later this half hour, and again at 11 on News Channel 3.